Mr. Clerk?
Madam Speaker, we have 8 amendments to Amendment 1.
Call the First Amendment to the amendment.
Amendment 121 by Representative Jones, put on the member's desk. No.
Representative Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I looked at Representative Carr's bill, I was really not comfortable with some of the language, and 2 words in particular that I didn't really care for were vigorously and zealously. So this amendment number 1 simply replaces those with forcefully and energetically. But after giving some thought to that, Madam Speaker, I've decided that that's not really what I want to do, and I move to withdraw.
Without objection, Amendment 1 to Amendment 1 withdrawn. Next amendment.
Amendment 2 to Amendment 1 by Jones.
Representative Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. After thinking about this a little bit longer and looking at the words that were used, I decided that vigorously and zealously were not really what I felt comfortable with either. And so I decided to make this amendment for fervidly and bombastically. And that's what this second amendment does, is change those 2 words in the amendment to fervidly and bombastically. But that doesn't seem to work either, and I move to withdraw.
Without objection, motion to withdraw. Next amendment.
Amendment 3 to Amendment 1 by Jones.
Representative Jones, you're recognized.
This whole resolution seems a little obsessive to me, and so I thought, okay, it seems obsessive. So let's amend vigorously and zealously to obsessively and frenetically. That's my amendment. But I'd like to withdraw.
You motion to withdraw. Representative Haynes, for what purpose?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move previous question on amendment number 1.
Previous question has been called for on amendment number 1. Is there objection? There is objection. We're on the board. All in favor of previous question on amendment number 1, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Aye 63, 22 nay.
Previous question prevails. We're on amendment number 1. Representative Jones, you recognize for parliamentary inquiry.
I would like to know the rule that allows a member to stand up in the middle of amendments and move previous question on the whole set. Would somebody read that to me?
Mr. Clerk.
Rule 30. Madam Speaker.
Mr. Clerk.
Rule 36. Previous question shall be admitted when demands by 2/3 of the members present. Do you want me to read the whole rule?
Did I see a vote?
Madam Speaker, we had a vote. The previous question was made on Amendment 1. We were on Amendment 1. We were between Amendments 2 and 3. And previous question was called for, and previous question prevailed by 2/3. So the body is now on the adoption of Amendment 1. The body is now voting on adoption of Amendment 1 as directed by previous question.
All those in favor of adoption of amendment number 1 say aye. Those opposed say no. You adopt. Next amendment.
Madam Speaker, no further amendments.
We're back on the joint resolution. Representative Jones, for what purpose?
The rules say here that I still had the floor.
Mr. Clerk.
Madam Speaker, she was recognized for parliamentary inquiry. And the previous motion was previous question. By 2/3 of the body, previous question prevailed. That means we are directed to go to previous question on the motion before the body. The motion before the body at that time was voting on Amendment 1. Amendment 1 has been since adopted, and now we're on discussion of the bill as amended.
Representative, we're back on the resolution as amended. Discussion. Representative Turner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And we're condemning a federal judge, which is pretty serious. And I know Judge Trauger, wonderful lady, fantastic woman, does a lot of good things for the state of Tennessee, and has done even before she got into the judgeship. And condemns awful strong. Just because you may agree with her studied and heartfelt opinion, I think, on this case. I think that you mentioned that we all stood up and made an oath of office to uphold the Constitution, but the Constitution changes over the years. One time, our Constitution supported slavery. It supported not letting women vote. It does a lot of things. I think at some time you will see that you're on the wrong side of history on this issue, and I think that'll change too. I think people like John McCain, who has changed his position on this, people like Dick Cheney, the former Vice President of the United States, feel the same way I do about same-sex marriage. I think that's something that's going to change in our country. I think two loving couples should be able to spend time with each other regardless of what sex they are. And I think, like I said, I think you're on the wrong side of history, my friend.
Representative Carr.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. 2 points. The resolution never mentions the judge by name, ever. I hope the members of this body will read the resolution before commenting on the resolution. Number 2, what we're trying to say here is the citizens of Tennessee voted by an overwhelming margin, 81% to 17%, to ratify the amendment to the Constitution defining a marriage as between one man and one woman. We swore an oath to that Constitution. It's true. It may change, but until such time that it does, that's the Constitution that we swore an oath to uphold.
Further discussion, Representative Cassida.
Speaker, I move previous question.
Previous question has been called for. Is there objection? There is objection. We're on the previous question. All those in favor of previous question vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Aye, 70, 24 nay.
Previous question prevails. We're voting on House Joint Resolution 839. All those in favor vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Aye, 75, 15 nay.
House Joint Resolution 839, having received a constitutional majority, hereby declare it adopted without objection. Motion reconsider is tabled.